On Fox News show Outnumbered Tuesday, co-host Jessica Tarlov pointed out in fairly mild terms that President Donald Trump missed an opportunity to bring up human rights abuses to North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un during their summit. Tarlov noted that Barack Obama was slammed for even setting foot in Cuba, despite the former president publicly standing up to Raul Castro on human rights while there. Her Outnumbered co-host Harris Faulkner was flabbergasted. "Wow," she gasped. "I think that was really jumping the shark." "He did." Co-host Melissa Francis protested. "They talked about human rights in the..." "To say that this president isn't going to do that," Faulkner added. "I don't think you watched the presser," Francis snapped at Tarlov. "They talked about human rights. I watched a press conference at 4 o'clock this morning and he said they talked about human rights and that they had that issue on the table. I don't know what you watched." Francis concluded that Trump and Kim would have been there all night had they added human rights conditions to their agreement. The offense that Harris and Faulkner took to the suggestion that Trump completely glossed over human rights in his summit is bizarre if only when considering the president's repeated fawning over the North Korean dictator. Throughout the day, Trump said Kim was a smart negotiator, a very talented man who loves his country very much, a very talented and young leader of the regime, very worthy, a great personality, a funny guy, very smart, a great negotiator who loves his people. Try to imagine the collective aneurysm the good hosts of Outnumbered would have if President Obama dared to say any of those things about Kim Jong-un. As Eric Erickson wrote, he would probably be impeached. Putting aside the praise of the man himself, when Trump was asked about Kim's brutal treatment of his people, the U.S. president waffled. "I believe it's a rough situation over there," Trump said during his press conference. "It's rough in a lot of places, by the way, not just there." That's the press conference Francis made clear she woke up early to watch. The talent that Trump stressed Kim had was his ability to take control of the despotic regime country at such a young age. Anybody that takes over a situation like he did, at 26 years of age, and is able to run it, and run it tough. "I don't say he was nice or I don't say anything about it, he ran it," Trump said. To be fair to Francis and Faulkner, Trump did claim that and Kim spoke about human rights when he was asked about it in his presser. When asked for specifics, here was Trump's response. It was discussed. It was discussed relatively briefly compared to denuclearization. Obviously that is where we started and where we ended. They will be doing things. I think he wants to do things. You would be surprised. Very smart. Very good negotiator. Wants to do the right thing." He brought up the fact that in the past they took dialogue or never were like we are, which has never been like what has taken place now. In case there was any doubt on where Trump stands, in an interview with Greta Van Susteren for Vogue, he was given the opportunity to speak out in support of the North Korea people. Here was Trump's response. Van Susteren, "Because this is Voice of America, it will be heard in North Korea by the citizens of DPRK of North Korea. What do you want to say directly to the citizens of North Korea?"